questions ever asked, all the questions that you will ever hear, all the questions that you hear, they can be answered. Numerically, they can be answered. If we understood the connection between the dots, in which are connected with the dash, which will be on an angle, which will tell the story of its creation, compared to in this game world that I have created. We'll talk about different games, different actions, different descriptions from different words, telling you stories that associate the dash, the dot, the line, the number associated with the word. If this creator was so brilliant, was this creator brilliant enough to have already created what I will present to you? For good reason, I shall say yes. For good reason, let's see how many things. We have a calculator. We have a word. We have a number. We have a conglomerate of association of things that we can call game. When we talk about more of them, we will talk about games, plural, more than one game. Can you play more than one game while you are playing a game? What does it mean to play a game? Do you need to have a plan? If you need to have a plan in the game, you need a plan in the game. Therefore, the plan in your game is your game plan. Now, if it's stagnant and moving slower, we're going to make it blue. If it's fast and moving quicker, we're going to call it red. Now, if it's red and it's on the back of a car, you've hit the trunk. Now, your question is, how big was it and what was it attached to? Was it attached to the face? And I'm going to relate that to the word elephant. Now, I'm stopping here because there's nobody here, so I want to make sure that I'm extended to other channels. Otherwise, I really don't want to do a video for myself. I really don't. I'm just going to go on here and just do a few things after. There's a few things I wanted to go over, so I'm just going to go over that while nobody's here. I'm not going to make like I'm talking to anybody right now. So if you just join up, I'm going to go through the beginning of the pages. Certain things to put down into our game plan is to understand the difference between the Olympic amateur and the professional. The professional gets paid money. It's a profession. The athlete in the amateur of the profession. Now, it doesn't have to be, it could be another sport. Is it still an athlete? What if it was, you were a professional what? Can you be a professional teacher? A professional athlete? When you are playing in the, what they call it, the big league. Is this how you write it? Is this how you write big league? Let's take a look. Big league. Okay, so you play in the big league. We're going to use number 72 or 27, red. The big red machine. So we have the rose, we have the summer rose, right? Look at that, Nazi. See it when I say this, the only thing I can think of is my creation birth brings me back to Mars. Brings me back to Mars. This is where, if I believe AD shows up, 3 and 9 equals to 12L, right? Which is 1 and 2 equals to 3. 3 is the reverse of what D is. L is 3, right? The C is 3 and this is 9. The reverse of C is D. The I reverse is A, and this is where I get it, like the LA Dodgers. I get Pete Rose from understanding this word as the big red machine, right? They play it in the baseball league. Big, 7 times 2, 7 plus 2 is 14 and 9 equals to 23, right? This one over here, 14 and 9, the ring and the birth, 23. The ring and the birth, 23. Here and all of these, no matter what you do, when you spin them, 6, 5, 1, 2, 14, 6, 3, 9, 10, 14, 1, 5, 1, 4, 9, sorry, 4, 6, 10, 3, 1, 14, 3, 2, 5, 4, 14, 1, 5, 6, 2, 14. They're all 14. Becomes the ring. Becomes the ring. The 9 face. All the 9 faces. 9 faces of pull. So let me see what just went on. I got sent a message. Maybe my voice is not working. The operator is noted to be what is 0 for the operator. The numeric value of 0 equals 64. 6 times 4, 6 plus 4 is 24 and 10 equaling to 34, and to the minus side, right, which is going to be 14. 10 is A, B, C, D. Is that an A, B, C, D minus or an A, B, C, D plus? I'm inverting the numbers I previously did, and I end up with the 5. Remember, we have the 7, 6, 5 connection, right? Remember that connection? Now I'm showing you where 5 is within its own house, separating the 5 and 6, or should I, right? Or should I, because I've done this before, put the 6 over here, right? And then put 7 over here. I think that's the proper way to do it, right? But then I shouldn't have done it this way, right? I shouldn't do it. I'm working by 1s now instead of by 2s. I'm going to have to show you them both ways. I'm going to show you them both ways. What if this was a reduced cell, right? What? No, I can't use it as a reduced cell. So this is 6 and this is 6. 5 and 6. This is your skeleton of your creation. This is going to be the horse, right? This is going to have to do with number 3. This is your 11 creation to your alpha, beta, to your 1 and 2 creation, right? If I go down to 2 over here, I'm going to go down to 5 and 4 over here. Then when I go down to 2, 1, 7, Whoop, this was also wrong. Sorry, I don't want to mix anybody up. I've done this once before this piece. It worked out, and or maybe it didn't. Maybe that's why I never did it again, or I don't remember. Sorry. My 1-9, my 2-8, my 3-7, my 4-6, right? Another way to do this is to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then up here 6, 7, 8, 9, and then run down here so we run it on one side. You follow what I'm saying? Here's this one side, and then here we have it to the other side. If you want to know what this formation is, I'm going to show you. Hold on a second. I want to show you this. This is the 7-6-5, the game of pool, where the 13 is, they knock heads. That would be the Taurus knocking heads, right, over here, because the next ones to go up top here, right, those are going to split one to each side. And I did that in my design today, right? And the design was here. Not sure if you can see this. The design is here and over here. So what's happening is, right, just give me a second. Whoop. Make sure that this goes over here, right? That 15. And what happens here is this is the way the line goes. So it crosses over. So if you want to see where X marks the spot and understand it, this is what happens in the game of pool. I don't know if you can see this. Yeah, I have to move this over here. Right? See what happened over here? This line goes all the way to here. Right? Let me take this away. Right? In the game of pool, you go 1 all the way up to 15. Right? And then in the game of pool, I need 15 all the way down to 1 over here. When we're connecting our pool game, our solid is a 7. Our solid is also an 8. It brings the 8, brings the 7, the 8 fits between 5 and 5 and connects 7 to 6, 6. 6, 6, 7, 19, bringing two worlds together, plus 8, 27, the house of bait. Creating an inside world. When you bring that together, this is your 30 connection. That X marks the spot between this area over here, the Venus connection and Mars, bringing these two 15 ball pool tables together, the stripe side or the solid side. Well, this shows the stripe side, while the bottom part shows you the 1. Why? Because there are 8. There are 8. There's 8, 8, 8, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 one way and 7 the other way. Here we start at 9, 11, 13, and 15. 1, 3, 5, and 7. The 8 is what pushes it up and above. Right? The same way when we're looking at numbers. The same way when we're looking at numbers is that, like, look at this. Look at this. I want to show you something. Let me show you here. All right? 23, 22, 24. Now we're going to call this, right? We're going to call this one, we're going to double up on this one. So over here would be 46. The time we're at right now is the 0 spot, right? Remember I just told you about the operator 0 equaling to this? This is a gateway, 2 times 4, 2 plus 4. In the gateway, the operator, and what do you do for the operator? You dial 0. But with the dialing 0, an understanding of road signs is when I do this and you're going into the game of bowling, it means you have the 1-1 split, or the 2-2 split, or the 1-2 split. So automatically you have 6 pins down. You came into life. Now, in which heaven you fell, I don't know. There's also the 2 ways to mark this sign over here, which is the same marking as on this angle here, right, as to the angle over here. But inside here, do you see the marking? There is nothing inside of here. There is nothing inside of here, but there's something inside of here. Are we making a connection now by showing you there's a split. The actual split they're showing you, okay, is right over here. This does not exceed. This stops in the hole. This exceeds. So whether it's the 1-9 split or whether it's the 3-7 split, right? And everybody got the information, right? Right? You saw one of these before in your life? The information network. That's all I work with here. That's it. That's it. This, a calculator, the alphabet, and the equations. Look, words, right? 52. I needed 5 times what? Did I need 5 times 10 to come up here? What was my way up to 52? If I can only use 9, then my highest number would be 81, would it not be? Or 89? How do I get into the 90s if I can only use 9? Well, I'll show you. 9 times 9 is 81. 9 plus 9 is 18. That's your 99. Your last 18 are in a different house. But your first 81, right, are in the multiplier house. Right? You multiply 9 by 9 equals to 81. You're not talking about the addition house where the 9 and 9 equals to the last 18 in the addition house. But when we count anything to do with 18, we are going to go 4 times 20 plus 10 through 9. Yeah, 10 through 9. Why would I say that? In French, when you want to say 19, you're going to say 19 as in one word. You're going to say, 10 and 9, 2 different words. The value of 10 is 39. The value of 9 is 42. When you say them, it equals to 81 Venus. It is the gateway. Look, into the block house, 3 by 3, 9. The birth house, your house of creation. And here is where it splits. 420, 80 in French means 80. So it's explaining this house. It means the 4 worlds of 20. Where can we get those worlds of 20? Should I write it out? Or should we just show it up over here? Is it the 7, 3, 10, and the 8, 2, 10? The 8, 2, 10, and the 7, 3, 10? That's 20. Was it the 9, 1, 10 with the 7, 3, 10? That's 20. Was it the 8, 2, 10 with the 4, 6, 10? That's 20. Was it the 9, 1, 10 with the 4, 6, 10? Was it the 4, 6, 10 with the 7, 3, 10? So you can see everything I'm getting to, right, with this? Or should I keep going on and let's see what the other combinations. 8, 2, 8, 2 twice. I have the 9, 1 once, 9, 1 twice. I have the 9, 1 3 times. I have to do this one again. Did I do this one? With that one. So this is the 4, 6 one, right, with the 9, 1. Right? Oh no, I did that over here. So you can see exactly what this is. And at the same time, I'm going to run this on the 45. Let me see. I'm going to run this on a 45 angle, and this is on a 45 angle, and this on a 45 angle. So I'm going to see some kind of building, something to, I don't know, there's some kind of cut down into a building, and then this into this kind of building, and I just build, or you can do the 3 lines to connect that, and instead it'll be either 10, 20, okay, 30, and 40. 40 is the most you got. The total is 100, right? And every time you do these, this 100, right? Every time you do it, right? you're always going to remember, you're always passing through the 5. And that'll give you 20. So if you're counting T minus, right, minus and 20 is 107. Okay, so that's your creation. 17, 34, 51, 68. Okay, 85 matrix. Or you're going to have your 25, 33, 41, 58. Now, what was this? Each time you go 17, right? 1, 1, 1, 3. 7, 7, 7, 21, 2 and 1, 3. If you do it again, you add 1 here is 4. You add 7 here is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. 401, 41 will be the communication of AD, where A1, which splits up everything, enters into D, enters into the core. Over here, A and D equaling to the E worlds. So it's not till you connect D with A that you connect the passage of the E world. Also to note that when you get the 4, what comes along with the 4? The opposite side is this 3. So you have now creation, right, in the delta angled. The delta angled is the ace letter, which is made up of a C and a D. And when you split it, you can see the I being at the center point that can be split to the separation of the legs. You can now create the heavens. How the same time the A letter will tell you about your Z, and it will tell you about your N. Skeletons in the characters of our alphabet, telling and talking about dots and dashes, explaining coordinate space with numbers, getting you back to the letter, in which when you create a word, you can more or less understand the word because you understand the character of the letter from how it was created, what it was created for, but not only to understand that, even all our machinery, right, the nuts and the bolts, it doesn't mean the same nut is going to go into the same hole, and it's not going to be the same size, and the machine is not going to do the same thing. And to get a little bit of water to drink. Just give me a second. Actually, I'm going to warm up this water and put it into my coffee. Just give me a minute. Okay, so let's see where we were. Did I lose anybody? Is everybody following for what just went on? I am usually scattered all over the place. We need lots of fingers. I need people to say slow down and repeat, and I'll probably forget, so people have to keep up, maybe to remind me what I was saying. I don't ask the rain to stop falling. I might spread it apart with the umbrella, slowly filling up the circumference around me, picking up the mist of the water that falls into the ground for the information of the momentary thought, from the vibration of the pitter-patter. Pitter-patter, IA, right? 1 and 9, 2 worlds coming together. 16 of the pitter-patter is the half-life, where the P can be inverted to tell you there's a divided gate, because both of them naturally, to a child, when you flip it over, it'll look like a B, and pending, it could look like the D. The B and the D are the bunny rabbit teeth for communication because it's 2 and 4 teeth. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 equal 8 and 6, 14. The 8 and 6 is what divides the 7th gate. That 14 is what is the ring. That no matter how you flip this dice, when it's sitting this way and spin it, there's always 14. 14, A and D or DNA, or also noted to be ET if you were working in French, which is found on the 7th key of the keyboard. So you can just note that the 7th key is an and sign, not telling you that it's DNA, A and D, although it's a signature sign of the and. In French, it's ET number 25. 25 is for Jack. 25 is for plug-in. When you start with the letter J, it is the 10th letter. It is bringing A, B, C, D together. 1, 2, 3, 4 equals to 10. So Jack begins with bringing it together, and because the small a is second, known as B. I'm resetting my alphabet for a new piece that I'm going to be doing, where the alphabet is no longer going to be the small ones are this number and the big ones are that. It's going to be a continuous. It's going to be A1 and A2. It's going to be B3 and B4. It's going to be C3 and C4. It's going to be, and that's the way it's going to go. And then if you want, we can invert it. And I'm doing it that way because I found a piano on the side of the road where somebody wrote with a pencil and engraved every single moving key, so that when I moved my hand over every single number and the key, it moved in the exact sequence. So now I knew how that was set up. So I want to set up my alphabet the same way as the piano. 52 keys, in which the piano has a specific vibration. When you go ding, ding, dang, dang, ding, 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 dang, you don't need to know the sounds. All you have to do is look where the white keys and the black keys are. Also to note that white is 6511 and black is 2911. Although you know that with 29, eventually white will reach black. Mathematically, 2 times 6 times 5, 6 plus 5 will equal 30 to 11 equals to 41. 4 times 1, 4 plus 1 equals to 5 and 4. 5 times 4, 5 plus 4 is 20 and 9 equals to 29. Also to note, what's special about 6 and 5, although you have to see that it inverts to 21 to 65. So what is your base alphabetic creation, where 1 must play in 2? That means 6 and 5, 11. Yo, here comes the student, the backbone, okay, holding on to the E world and coming from the heaven, from the life, from the heavens into life. Sleeping and awake, your night, this is the night of 8, this is the day of 16, 1 and 6, 7, the half-life, 2.5 away, which is the earth number, 2.5 away, right? Earth, 2.5 plus 1 is 3.5, 6, creation, minus 2.5 is 3.5, because on the cross, the triangular cross of the hand of God, it's 105 or 10.5. Times 4 creates 420 of the 4 worlds of 80, time, heaven, creation, THC, which is noted to be what is in Venus of 2, 4, 6, 8. The French will say 80, saying 420. The mathematics will say 4 times 2, 4 plus 2 equals 8 and 6. When I show you 8 and 6, you know for a fact that they're on the other side of each other. You know for a fact, right, on the opposite side of a single dice is always 7. So you know for a fact that if you go to the game of craps and you learn about all the odds, you will bring numbers to that game, which will bring it to letters and words and characters in the alphabet, and even around the clock of 360 degrees. When you implicate games, hockey, for the 3 periods of 20 minutes and the 2-minute penalty for the 1 point for the scoring and the 2 possible people who get assists. For the 1 goaltender of the 5 people that are in front. You see, right now, hockey is like a stop sign. Stop sign, you hold up 8. You show the hand of 5, it's the same thing. It has a puck. It has a puck, number 51. And it has a stick, number 62. That Mars is number 51, and the Queen is number 62. 51 days after Election Day, okay, 51 days including Election Day will be the eve of Christmas, or 51 joins Election Day on the 511 key to what is the 25th of December, 37, creation of the 7th gate. On the day of matter and energy coming together, bringing in the spirit with the soul, 77 and 74, 151, which brings us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The good vibration from both sides equaling to 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. and connecting to the center of 66, where 33 is the center of these numbers. No lie, and I can show you. You don't even have to ask, I will show you. It's all free because we need our freedom. No time to hoke and poke for the money. It's time to open the show. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You have 4, 3, 2, 1. You have Mars of 51. You have Jesus. Okay, we're gonna put 7 and 4 a little bit different, right? We got 7, right, and then we got 4. This is the way I'm gonna put it together, right? Otherwise, I got from all meat for this. The half-life ends up by Hoover Dam, and I saw what Bugs Bunny did there a long time ago. Another thing is the rotation of the sun in mass, right? Time, heavens, energy, THE, and in mass. The difference between this and this is the power. Well, when you add 77 to 33, you might think you get the 110 power, plug me in, right? But in all, you get the 1010 power, which is your 11 power, which is your creation power. This word, for those who don't know, say Christmas. 3377 equaling to 63 and 15. In this rotation of creation, this happens to be the male organ, and this happens to be your double gateway. 7 times 7, 7 plus 7 will equal to 49, and 14 equals to 63. 3 times 3, 3 plus 3 will equal to this number over here. If you bring this together, you create this. Adding to a single digit, you get this from this. This is your gateway. This is your 17 gateway. This is your heaven's gate. The queen is controlling that gate. This is the king, is at the heart of the gate, but it is being controlled by the 8, by Venus, by 420, time, heaven, electric creation. Through the quarter houses of Mars, remember, quarter, 15, and 25 don't look the same. But it depends how you want to look at it. Because 25% of 60 seconds is 15. We might not have 30, right, looking the same as 50. But 50% of 60 is 30. So if you want to say 330, we're going to switch that. No more 33. The hidden code for 33 is now 35. Sorry, hold on a second. I had another vision. I had 2 visions in one shot. So just give me a second. So yes, if we're looking at 3 and 3, it can also be 5 and 5. Right? Because we're going to switch that 3 over to meaning half. So why does it mean half of something? It's half of 6, half of our creation, understanding the minute. I switch it to the 55 because of the, where was I? Yes, because 30 minutes will equal to that. So I'm going to refer them both as 30 minutes and switch them to 55s, which is now going to turn me into this number here. Mathematically, this becomes 7 and 6. 7 times 6, 7 plus 6 equal to this number over here. At the same time, it becomes 42 and 13, also reducing me down to here, bringing me into the IT system of the sun. I think I'm mixing you up. Let me bring you to a new page. Let me show you. 7 times 7 equals 49. 7 plus 7 equals to 14. This is not a race. I'm going to slow down. Equals to 63. Ironically, 11 or Eve equals to 63. Ironically, 7 equals to 65, and that's your base creation, right? your 1 and 2, your mother and your father, base creation. Your alternative reality to the void, right, is going to be 3 and 4 equaling to 7. It just so happens that in your creation of 6511, you become the 3 and 4 void of that creation. Earth, 52, Mars, 51. I mentioned before the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 can also be looked at as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, to where in all the worlds are described in a different way because you don't live on all sides of all the worlds. You have always at all times, this is the key center over here, right? Over here. So, and this is the key center, this is the key center, and this is the key center. So I'm just going to knock them out. This is what we're left with. So if we want to match them up and balance them out, then this one will come to this one. This one will come to this one. This one will come to this one. But on this side, when we saw a perfect balance between two sides, we ended up with 22, 33, and 44. Now, if I build this only to the high side, I'm going to get 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we're going to take out all the 9s. Right? And then we're going to go 88, 77, and 66. Now, we didn't do 11 and we didn't do 55. Everything lives between these numbers. Just so happens I live across the street from that address. Everything lives in these numbers. This will be 3, and this will end up to be 8. This is our 11, 11, 11 creation from this one here. Here is your low. Here is your high. Whoop, sorry. 111 equals to 71 minutes. And 555 equals to 355 minutes. 5 by 355 minutes. I'm not sure 100% what it does, but this, when you add up 16, 17, 18, the core of your 36 creation, right, this equals to 111. But your 36 creation, 1 through 36, equals to 666 minus 111, meaning 555 is left over. 5 times 5, 5 plus 5 plus 5 equals to 15. Your vibration resides in 2 through 4. 432, or what is half of life, 180 by 180 equals to 324, 432. To what is, if I reverse it around to 864 with a couple of dots, and I cut it in half, I got 432, 86,400 seconds. The sun diameter is 86 million something 400 and all zeros. Same thing. That if I multiply this number by 3, I end up with 25,920 of the Mayan great year. To where we know that our creation begins in the half-life in 6, divides by 8 by the 7th gate. It's a 4 and 5 to the 9 birth, to what is 5 and 6 to the life of 11, birth in the house of Bait. What is 2 and 7 equals to 9, okay, to what is 2 and 9 equals to 11, both inside the house of Bait. This is the carrier of the moon, this is the carrier of the heart. 1 and 8, the heavens, you are that 5 and 6, 11 creation. Also noted to be the V8 horsepower. I can show you on here that this is number 42. Electric company, any craps, or is it 11 craps? You ever go to the game of craps? And they go, yo, Yoelev. Well, this is short for student. It's also short for 11. And in 11, the value is 63, okay? And it's created by 77, and it will recreate a perfect number of 18 and 9 equaling to 27, recreating a third 9. 6 by 3, 18, 6 plus 3, 9, 9 and 18, 27, or how about 3 cube? 9 and 27 equaling back to the 360 that we turn around again, the creation of I in the heavens. This is the core. As we've been shown, there's only 8. There's only 8. So it's 8 times 1.5 equaling to the 12 hours. Mars and Saturn work on that 1.5 number, which are 3 5s. 5 times 5 times 5 equals 1.25. There are 364 equality moons of 13 by 28 equaling to 364. There is 91 times 4 equaling to 364. Add the 1.25 and we add in that leap year towards that. It's 512 memory, where 51 is Mars and 52 is Earth, where the 15th letter is O and the 25th letter is Y. It says boy. Yol. Just trying to see what else it says. Here is 14 and here is 40. 1,440 minutes in a day. What's the big deal, right? 103, Jesus Christ, creation, right, of the altar world. Big deal. Yo, coming together is 512, Earth and Mars. Big deal. But it is what it is. If I double Earth to 104, it's 10-4 communication. 51 would be 102. This is your 10-4 communication home king. 1 and 4 DNA. Your AD, your ABCD bringing the 10 of the JD world together. J10, D4. ABC creation is 6. I think I want to move on to the next page. So we saw what happened with all these numbers, correct? So we had 11 and 55. We understood where the 432 came in. We also have to understand that the king has 7 eyes and the queen has 8 eyes and the jack has 6 eyes. I'm just going to do it this way. Above and below, above and below. 14, 12, 14, and 16. 42. So far, so good. We're up to date. Let's see where else we are. Yes, the 1 second to take a little bit of that hot water and come back. Prepare your questions. We can create the answers through the better understanding of the characters of the alphabet. I like to not cut corners. I like to square things off. Right? I want to run it at 45 degrees, at 22.5 degrees. I want to see where the calculations run into quarters and thirds. Noted that it's 100% of 90. That's the calculation. We seem to only go out 90. That's as far as we've ever gone, 90. But is it at arm's length? 90 holding on to the pole here and stretching out my arm this way and going all the way around? Is that what makes the 120? Is it the 90 from here that splits me? Or am I hanging onto the pole? Am I hanging onto the pole and walking all the way around, right? And then I go down. If I imagine I have my area and I go down to this area, okay, and I stick it out and I go all the way around, and then I stick it out over here and I go all the way around, and now I can create a boardwalk over here. I can go into the boardwalk, I can create a circle, and then I can creating those circles, and all of a sudden I got land. I got land of my own, equally created in the balance of every other circle or every other quarter moon. And every time I do it, I have different levels, right? We have different levels from that. Come on, come on, come on. You're invited. You're invited. Let me check my hot water. Why don't you keep everybody company? Stay there. Stay there. Just for you. Just for you. My beautiful chair, my beautiful honey. Hey, honey bunny. Just if we knew the truth, we can all come together. We can solve the problems. How long, if everybody just did this for a week, everywhere, especially where they're doing that, right? Right? You just have to make sure, we need to be defensive. Right now, you have to be ultimate defense. But then if the ultimate defense, what's going to happen through the ultimate defense? Okay, let's go get that coffee. Let's go get that. Oh. Don't go down. Don't walk on my stove. People are watching you. Oy, oy, oy. Oy, oy, oy. Off the counter. Off the counter now. I'll help you. Off the counter. Off the counter. Off the counter. On the table. I want you to go on the table. Come on. On the table. That's it. Okay, so let's see where we are now. Home King 104 DNA, Dan the Man. Okay, so when you go Dan the Man, the word, okay, first of all, let me finish. The DNA goes with ET because it's the French, ET. The E, okay, is part of number 5. The T is part of number 7. It's 5G. It touches the moon, okay, the electric and the moon. Note that when we look at it, we have to also understand that when you have the 5 here, right, you have the 2 over here. See the wing? See, here's one of the wings. This is 1, 2, 3, 6 coming in, right? So you brought 1 and 2 into 3, and then you doubled up in your creation. And through that creation, you brought in the heavens. You brought in the delta angle, the mirror world. Down here, right, is 11 and 17, 28. You end up with the word man, the cycle in the moon, and a few other words we'd have to talk about. So we have now created the heavens, okay, of Venus, which includes the main heaven, which is Mars, right? And then the halfway house, which is Saturn. We made it bigger. We split them up. We need a place for the group that's the, what you call the non-living living, right? Perhaps living within your own spirit, within your own mind, correcting you, coming back to bed, going back to bed. Very important you reach the heavens of 8 in going back to bed. You must sleep. It's a must. It's an obligation. It's a recharge. You must breathe. You must consciously breathe. And you must highly believe to know the truth. It is so hard to believe the truth because you've never had the truth. Without the doubt surrounding you that we are highly connected to an alternative system. We are not alone, and we're not actually 100% here other than the carcass we support at this moment. So then we are here. On the 92nd day, April 1st, the day of the fish. Fish, number 33, is that right? SHFI, FI 15, SH 28, 42 fish. So it's divided. See, the fish swim in a school. We follow the tail. The fish head follows tail, HD, 8 and 4. Fish follows the tail, so we have to understand that. Also, fish and bird, right? Fish and bird, both equal to 6. One is 42 and the other one is 33. The bird, BIR 27, IR 27, B and D 6, right? That's Venus, right? 60 seconds on the clock. Aleph is for the the Venus is for the 2 seconds, the 4 seconds, the 6 seconds, the 8 seconds on the clock. In the 5th dimension of Venus, it becomes the 10th second on the clock, entering into the into the male area, creating the 10, one of the first wings. Once you create the first wing, 1 through 4 equals to 10, you create the second wing, which is now 6, 7, 8, 9, equaling to 30. 6 and 9, 15, 7 and 8, 15. From the first wing, 1, 2, 3, 4 equals to 10, equals to 15. All at this time passing through the center area, value of 5. That is how the tennis match works, 15, 15, and 10 for 40. And then game, capturing the core, connecting the 2 wings together. Perhaps if they were bent wings, we can look at the yin and the yang, that in this arm, you can see the face. See this? No face in this arm. But check again. I turned upside down. Now this face has the face. So when you see yin and yang, you're only seeing one face at a time. I was talking about the Olympics, the amateur, the professional. In the word amateur is the word am. It is the word, the spirit is within the soul in amateur. When you see the word chur, it works up for a couple of words that come to mind, okay? EU come together, your basic creation of 21. When you have the U letter, it refers to the 6th letter. The alphabet balance of 21 is 6F. If you do 2 21s, it's 42. You have 2 cubes. You have 2 dies. You take one away, you receive death. You have 1 die for your life. You connect another die to it. But what happened to your die, right, in the Venus world that we came in, right, is they took these dies. I'm going to show you what looks like this. In the world we live, it looks like this. They took this one, put one in the center over here, right, like that. And then instead of it being like that, this was the center, and it split apart Mars in 4 quadrants. Now Mars moves all around this area here, this area here, this area here, and this area here. Remember, Rubik's Cube has 3 levels. So we have to remember also there's 2 sides to the dice. There's 2 sides for every level. How it moves in and out, I do not know exactly. Anyways, here's your Earth numbers, your 5 and your 2. Let me see. So yes, the amateur is for us. It's for the amateur soul, right? It's not for the professional. It's the amateur. No money is involved. So there's a thing, the word money and bet, right? The word money and bet. So bet is the house we live, number 27, which is funny because I have to re-energize myself. For some reason, I'm losing my words. I'm going to go backwards in a minute and talk about something. Is about this. I talked about this the other day. 27 and 28. 3 by 9 equals to 27. 4 by 7 equals to 28. PQRS equals to 70. I'm going to take the Q17 and now reduce it to 53. Here is going to be WXYZ, and that'll be 98. I'm going to take away the Z26 and bring this to 72. So over here I have 7. Here I have 7. Here I have 17. The lower and the upper level of the gateways. When these get removed, right, this becomes number 8. and this becomes number 8. Together, this is 24. You live at the 7th gate, divided by 6, between 6 and 8. Over here, okay, you live in the 7th gate, over here. This is the Mars, and this is the Earth. It seems like we're free on Mars unless I have to flick it the other way. Whatever I say, there's some things that I've said that are 100% the flip way, but it keeps working out that way. Like I have the many things about Mars says male, cold, and then there's a few things about Mars where it keeps repeating the queen. On one side where the number to Mars is, the flip side is the queen, right? So maybe what's ruling this Earth planet is the queen, that Mars moves inside that house. But even while moving in the cage of Mars or in the window of Mars through the Earth, or the Earth is maybe energy moved into ours. I don't know how that works. I just work it that way. It's either this one worked itself into here, or that one worked itself into here, but they overlapped. Okay, and the energy being pulled through here keeps us prisoner to the land we are in. Soon that energy will be out. The analog moon, the digital moon must continue in order to continue our I don't know what you want to call it, the aether that's within us. We cannot run with the new system. The old system is leaving, and we can only live in that old system. This is what I came up with many, many years ago. This cannot be found anywhere, but the energies do move within inside of each other, right? Whether one is raining down this way and the other is raining down this way. Also to note that in the words of thunder, right? We have the word, we have the 2 letters of hue, we have the 2 letters of TH, we also have UN coming together, we have red coming together, we have electronic resident ending in ER, we have thund. Maybe one of the reasons they brought on the thund girl, right, is just to remind us of those letters. T and H comes together telling us of the time heaven, of the 7 and the 8, that is control, or the 7 and the 6, because now I'm flipping T and H into 7, 6, which shows up in gematria when you count your numbers 1 through 7, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Human yin yang. Well, hue is a light, right? It's also number 29 when you add them up. It is the first letter. It's not capitalized, but I capitalize everything. Inside man is the location. When I see the small n, so that's location in the house of Bait, and it's a divided world, or the worlds that have been brought together, or divided worlds are running off of the same source, right? They put a world here, and a world over here. No matter which way you go to the main, no matter which way you go, right? You have one world here, and then you have one world here, and then you have one world here, and then you plug in, right? You plug in over. Is that the way you do it? And you plug in here, and I think you plug in here. I'm not really sure how it would work. I'm just trying to figure out how it would work, how we would plug in, you know. But somehow we all plug in, right? And then we might possibly be living here. And you just don't get out, you just keep going around, you know. And that's where my A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, right, fit in which, if you want to look at it, it's 1, 4, 7, 2, 5, 8, 3, 6, 9. And that's the same thing as 1, 4, 7, 2, 5, 8, 3, 6, 9. But now this calculator, right, if you look at it, it's 4 and 4, and it's 4. 4, 44, 4. And then it's 2, 22, 2. And it's 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. We possibly live in the house of Hammond. Hammond communication. It's a single antenna. Call it Luna. Backwards you say annul, means to cancel. This over here, what you just saw here, this Q and this Z, well, the ATM puts the Q and the Z on the number 1. We already see the number 1 plays from this position, plays from the ace position. So now we know it's taken over the 5th position. You remember that Mars position? It's taken over the Mars position. We also have to note that because it's in a corner, it might not look like that, the design I just made. I just want to show you what happens. See, number 5 is over here, right? Now, if it's in a corner position, what I believe has to happen is one of these two things. Other worlds plug in. See, this is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and then this is 9, 3, 1, 7. This is this over here, and this over here is 3, and then this is 1, and then this is 3, and then this is 1. Then over here, this will be 5, and over here, this will be 5. So when I say 1, 3, 5, I say ace. The ace is the division and in control of the birth spirit. Now, if I did it by 1, your 5 can only look like this, right? See my 11 over here? All the 1s and the 3s have to plug in this way. You're going to have, let me see, did I do that right? 1, 1, yes, 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 I did it right. Did I do that right? Did I do that right? Did I do that? Yes, 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 okay. So this is the way this basic setup would look like. And over here, this would be 6, this would be 4, 4, 4, 4, and this would be 5, and then this would be 6. So that's what this setup would look like. So we'd have an 8 here, we'd have an 8 here, we'd have a 4 here. I'm just trying to see where our location might be if you're following. See when the 7 and 9 come together? Well, we have to do the same thing. This is not finished, right? So now now we have the 28. Here we have the cycle, 28-day cycle to the base 36 creation and rotation. So we have to figure out where we're going to be. Did I get this right? No, I did. This is, hold on a second. This is 4 and 4, 7 and 7, 3 and 3. Okay, hold on a second. I want to make sure. 1, 5, 9. That's okay. So we flip it over this way. That's okay. So the top part is 3. We did this backwards. This cannot be a 3 because the 3 is, oh yes, this is in the second board. This is 3, 2, 1. How is this way? Something's a little screwy with my board. Hold on a second. This has to look like this. This has to look like this. No, it doesn't. This has to be a 6. Yeah, okay, that's what it is. Okay, yeah, just made a small error. Yeah, because this has to be 369, 369, right? This area has to be 8 and 8 over here. So this will be a 7. This will end up to be an average 7. This one will be a total of 4. The beast. 7 and 4 and 4 and 6. So anyways, I don't want to stick on that because I don't know what the answer is to that. It's telling me a little periodic reality. So let me take a little sip of this. So this is what happens when the ATM removes those numbers, okay, from a 717, okay, to an 8-8. Here it becomes a 7 and an 8 over here, right? This is your 17th gate rotation of 71. 71 minutes is 1 hour, 11 minutes. 71 is 2 hours, 22 minutes. 7 is going to fit into the workings of Mars and at the gateway of the cube. The reverse cube of this is 7, 3, 4, 5, 2. The reality is if you're drilling holes through this, it'll only be 1 and 6. That'll be your 77, 16, 61. The second part of this is that, so that's your pole 7. The other part is meeting at the halfway point between two ways, here and here, will bring a 7 together. 3.5 and 3.5 bring a 7 together at the heart. Although the heart value bringing all the areas together will be 10.5, meaning 2 over to 5 is 7 divided by 2. 1 over to 6 is 7 equals to 2.5. 3 over to 4 equals to 0.5. Did I get that right? 2 over to 5 is 7 equals to 3.5. The center is 3.5. 28 days to the cycle for 28 grams. 28 grams is 8 times 3.5. There's only 8 dots surrounding this cube and told to you or shown to you by this calculator. And if we only have 8 to go around 360 degrees, then we have to multiply that 8 by 1.5. In blackjack 21, there's 21 dots on the cube. The 21st number is the first time you're going to end up with the word ST. You start on first, you end up on what is first, and all in between is your base of time, heaven, creation. Your time, heaven, creation. I'm going to do this. Let me see if I can get this. Here's basically one of them. The basic part of your creation is this. Now, I'm for some reason, I'm a little lost for my words. I don't know. And one of the reasons is it's A and B is what creates C. 1, 2, 3 is C. 1 is in the middle of 2. 2 and 2. It is 2 and 2. From here it's 2 and here it's 2. The outside is all about the B world. The inside is all about the alpha world. Spin it around all you want. It's always going to be the A on the inside. Mercury is on the inside. Now, when you work with, now this is what you call the Earth square. We have 8 times 3.5 equaling to 28. But the core of the cube is 3.5, okay, which takes 10 times 3.5 equaling to 35, or 28 times 1.25 equals to 35, or 3.5. You can call it 11 craps. Where 11 and 12 will be that creation. Your 11 is also noted to be what is an ace, which can be a 1. You know, just for the dog, we can give it a bone. Here, you're going to put in KP, the half-life. Over here, you're going to put in, let me see this, you're going to put in LO, like your PO box begins over here, right? That's 31, which equals the cube. And in your cube, your base creation is 3 times what is the 7th gate equals to 21. 3 plus 7 equals to 10. And your total is 31 and 11. Your 11 is your base creation because 1 times 1 equals to 1. and 1 plus 1 equals to 2 plus 1 equals to your 3, where 1 times 2, 1 plus 2 equals to 3 and 2 equaling to 5. This is your base creation. It goes from here over to here. So you don't get to the E world until you've been into the B world. And now you have to use this world and then use this world from this world here, right, in its own answer. This was its answer. And then do this one here. And this one over here, right, 3 and 1 will equal to 3 and 4, equaling to 7. So when you get the 3 and 2 equaling to 5, and this equals to 7, you have the 20th letter and the 22nd letter. The 20th letter and the 22nd letter equal to 42. It's the 7th gate of the cat, right? All we have to do is put through the power into the soul, right? We need just the energy into the soul. That's all we need, the cat. Cat is number 24. And also when you come into the birth, you come into the 9. When you come into the 9, you come at 42. And on the backbone of your creation in life is 5, and that's 42. And your life communication, your lifeline, right, is in 6, and that's 52. I think we can work out. I'm trying to see if I can do this. 64 and 77 equals to 42. 4 and 7, 11. 1 and 1 is 2. 6 and 7, 13. 1 and 3 is 4. Adding to a single digit, Pythagorean. Pythagorean, because things were split up, we're bringing it back to its norm. We're taking away all the dots and all the decimal points, and we're bringing it back whole again. The word cube equals to 31. The total of this reverse calculator is all 10s. 1 and 9, 10. 3 and 7, 10. 2 and 8, 10. 4 and 6, 10. That is your 40. That is what we are going around. That is your 40. Let me see where else I was with this. The Mercury, Earth square, Venus. Actually, it's a Venus square. So if I would triple this up, right, what would I get? I don't remember where I was going with this. I'm going to see if I can move on to something else, if you can remind me. We understood what happened over here, the 4-3-2. Did we understand the 4-3-2 with the king, the queen, and the jack? Even in the deck of cards, right? Even in the deck of cards, they showed you that the ace owns the center creation, and is shoved into the D, right? D4. The D4, look, 2 inverts from each other, showing you both the same world, right? It's not going in the same direction. To where the 6 and 7 are the same, but it shows you here in the upper level, see the lower level? On this one, look at that. You got area space to the lower level, 1 through 9. Right, the same thing over here, and you can also see that both 4, 7, and 6 all possess with the 4. We don't need the 4. Even the 9 has the 4 within it. And you see, there's one heart that's living between both inverted worlds. One is on the upside, one becomes the downside. This becomes your 5 and 4. You remember I said we live in the IT system? Well, this is the 5 and 4. There is no 6 and 3. The 6 and 3 shows up in the dice. The 5 and 4 shows up in the card. Where does the 6 and 3 show up? Right here. This reality now imagine I took out yellow on yellow, eh? Nine. Seven. 7. There are 7 missing, right? There are 7 missing. There are 7 missing. There's 1 missing here, 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 and here. There's 1 missing here, here, and here. You bring them together with this one. And if you design it, the 7 looks like an 8 in disguise. Also, to note that when you do make certain designs, hold on a second. I'm trying to remember which design that was. Yes, when you do make certain designs, right? Imagine you're creating the overlapping, right? The overlapping. So when I overlap this, right, the total area space is 9 with 2 empty corners, right? So when you connect your cube, you minus 2 of these Venus corners. They've been chopped off, right? These corners have been chopped off. Or I could have put it this way, right? And I would have had to, right? I did it that way. See the way I did it that way? These 2 are chopped off again. So where can I bring them back? I want to bring them back. So if I put, what if I put this one here? I'm just trying to, oh yes, and cut it through from here and cut it through here. So now I've clipped off this corner and I created that corner. Now if you can take a look what I created, right? I created a cube-like area right inside here. And I created this. Did that star have to come through? Yeah, I think I had to do the whole thing like that. Not sure if that's the fox, but anyways, it looks like a diamond like this. And then we complete it this way. And I don't remember what it was supposed to turn out to be. But there's a cube inside of a cube inside of a cube. So it'd be 3 cubes. You have to have 3 levels. So let me see what else there is. Hold on a second. And I think I'm going to take my jacket off. It's getting a little warm in here. Just give me a second. Let me refocus. Did you hear that? That was crazy. Another thing, you mentioned 410. One of the things about 410 or October 4th, it's the 277th day of the year. When you count birth, right, you must count all your 4 basic 91 days. It's 91 days times 4, right? 91 times 4 equals to a total of 3. 91 times 3 is 273, right? Then you add on, then there's 7 more days, right? But you needed 4 days for the egg and the sperm to come together, those 4 days. Well, the 4 days of the 40th week is the 277th day, which is October 4th. 10-4 in CB Codes, Citizens Band Radio, the radio of 10 of the ABCD world we were brought into, equaling to 10, into the 30 days of creation in the mirror world, equaling that there are 4 months of 30 days to the 1 month of 28, because we were born in on the IT system of the sun, that 29th day, to pass through the 28-day cycle of the moon. 29 and 28 equal 57, electric moon 75. The numeric value of the sun will create 29. The numeric value of our half-life to the minus side will create 29. Our creation of 5665, the creation within the wolf, the flow, howling at the moon, part of our creation is through that moon. The wolf howls, number 56, goes with the flow, 56. The horse at the 7th gate is 65, powered up a V8. Coming into the Queen's world, born on day 6, living through the 7th gate. Add 2 to 6 is 8, minus the 1 equals the 7. The Luna is that 1. It's actually 9, but we have the 1 in the minus side because it's what brings us to spirit and life, living at the 7th gate. And as I showed you, they took off the letters from the 7 and the 9. The 70s and the 90s are different than the 80s. When you count in French, okay, and you get up to 70, you will say 60 and 10. But you don't do that in the 80s. In the 80s, you do not mention or add on in the 80s anything to do with 80th or 8th because the T is already there. In the 7s and 9s, the reverse word for Mars is Heinz 57, and you can see that it's 3 by 17 to equal to 51, and it's 3 by 19 to equal to 57, bringing those two numbers together. 57 and 51. We also know that with 9 or A and I, the 19 brings two worlds together, in which what happens is where these 17 brings Uranus into Neptune, and when you bring Uranus into Neptune, you bring Earth into Venus. When you bring Earth into Venus, okay, Earth plays a role as the human through Saturn 6, which is at the in the heavens of 8, 2 times 4, 2 plus 4, born at the 7th gate. When you lift up this calculator and you look between 6 and 8, there's a nothing in between here. Between 5 and 9 is a nothing in between there. But how do you go from 6 to 8? You add the 1, 7. How do you go from 5 over to 9? You add the 2. You add 1 to 6 and 2 to 5, 1 and 2, alphabetic creation of the 7th gate. 14 and 14, 28 days of the cycle, 14th letter is your N or your DNA. O Lord, or the Lord is the creator, who thy is this creator that be our Lord, and leave to us all these messages. And is it blasphemy that what I speak to tell you the truth from within the games that have been shared with us, that we honestly play and accept together, wholeheartedly at 100%? The only thing different that can outlandish a game is somebody cheating out or playing outside the game rules. For the game was made fair to all, and here I present to you the games, the characters that make up what is the alphabet, that is connected with what is called Morse in code, connecting the dots together with lines noted to be as dashes. When one line is below the line, okay, they call that one word. When it's in between, they call it a second word. When it's above the line, they call it something else. So we were given all these terms for our letters and all the symbols and what they say. And then we go, well, that can't be. That's not true. Well, we're using this today as being true. How can I put the same system together but use alternative realities? Okay, meaning I'm adding a backbone to the alphabet, which are the alphabet. Backbone is the dot connected with the dash. Also to note, there is 360 degrees. You can all agree. This is in front of me. You can all agree that it exists, and you've seen it before. So it all is what it all is, and I only use what everybody else does. All I do is I show you the artwork and the equation and how the movement takes place. I show you where they're already doing it with the 7 and the 9, the 7 and the 9, always the 7 and the 9. The fourth part of 17 is 68, which is dividing the gate. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 equals the 6 and 8 house planet. We know that 41 is king. We know that 41 is home. We know that 41 is AD, which makes up DNA, living in between, which is the vibration of BC, before the Christ, after the death. 55, where the spirit is 76, 7 for Earth and 6 for Mars, equaling to 42 and 13, making 1, 2, 3, 4. The 13, 7, and 6 will bring in the moon The 24/7 times 642 will divide the gate to bring into what is in the seventh gate of 6 and 8, which is your birth into the E world. Leaving somehow that triangular area right over here. That triangular diamond area sits right over here. And one of the places I found it is I found it located in the heart. I also found it located within the king. With the king of diamonds, right? The king of diamonds. So I show you that within the heart, which is two jacks coming together, that's all it is two jacks coming together, and then we complete the 88. And all that is one heart above the other heart, noting that we have J times 4 equals to 40 or 44, depending where you're playing. It is the 10th letter, but it is the 11th card in the deck. 44, which divides up the night and the day. To where 88 can also be a little bit looked at as 3 times 3, 9, 3 plus 3, 6. We now have over here 3 lines. This is good where it looks like 6 for the hexagon. We didn't connect these 2 lines here. So this is your 6. Once I connect the other 2 lines, I have created the 8. I have now put a stop up. I can no longer rotate. When I connect all of these, I connect 40 plus 20. When I just connect these over here, right? In fact, I didn't want to do it this way because this is the Mars way. This is not the same thing. Okay, I should show you the Earth way. The Earth way has this piece in between over here, right? It's created like this. So I'm going to have to go through this. If this was the Mars way, right, this would only be a 4-face, right? So this would only say, this would say 5, 5, 5. This would only say 15. When I connected this up over here, right, this would say 20. This is a no pass zone, or the value over here of passing of 1, 2, 3, 4 of 1, 2, 1, 2, right, would be the 2.5 area. That's an Earth number. That's an evenly separated gate. Chop everything in half and double it up. This is also going to be noted as Earth and ET. So did you follow what I'm saying? In the Earth matter here, I don't pass through this area here. In order to get from here to here 10, 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 I have to show you another design. So what we were working with before is we went all the way around and I connected them this way. This is where the rook comes in, because the movement of the rook in chess moves like this: 1 up, 2 over, 2 down, 1 over, 1 over, 2 up, 2 over, 1 down, 1 down, 2 over. And that's the rook. This is the movement of the rook. So where was I with that design? We did that design, and if I further on that design, right, if I further on that design, and note that becomes the percentage sign, that we note that the queen has 8 eyes and 8 eyes. We create it like this, and then I do this. And at the same time, if I want, I can do that over here. And now I have a tower in between a tower. The singular tower in between the, let me see that here. What am I turning this for? I'll just turn my book, right? So I now have the tower here and the tower here. And then I have the 2 towers here. So I'm going to look at this as Luna and the 2 moons of Mars. It almost looks like an open book. So we're just going to go like this. And that's what this ends up looking like. And this is the beginning of what is 69, right? But it's also this. because it's 3 times 3 equals 9, and 3 plus 3 equals to 6. From birth to life at that gateway. That's 7, that 8. So we spoke about it, and I'm going to go over it again. That's 7, that 8. Hold on a second. That's 7, that 8, right? 1 and 5 equals to 6 when they're together. Where was I bringing that 7 and 8? There was another reason for it, right? The control of the 8 is now moved on the ATM to the 1 key. I just want to see something. There's something that's missing. I don't know where it is. The King of Diamonds has three cards on the King. Have 2 eyes, and 1 has the diamond eye. That's 7, showing me the gate. Also, 3 and 1 is showing me the cycle of 3 years and 1 year. Also, it explains to me about 13 and 31 at the 7th gate. There's 7 months of 31 days. This equals to 75 electric. And this equals to moon electric. 5775 5G, male and female coming together. We did the horse. We also have to know that the horse, reverse zodiac sign, right, becomes the rat or the mouse, moving the flesh, your skin, the arrow. The arrow, in short, is Neptune. We have the mouse, and then we have Neptune. The flesh is also your flesh. That's an arrow. You can fit it in to look at either a triangle, a triangle, or the Neptune fork. We went over this where 7 equals 65, 11, and 11 equals 63, 7. 7 come 11 is Rubik's Cube. 1 and 6 equals 7, 8 and 3 equals 11. 2 and 5 equals 7, 7 and 4 equals 11. 3 and 4 equals 7, right? 6 and 5 equals 11. So one of my friends made a remark, and I'm not sure if it's you, Sin, right? That when Moses brought the animals on 2 by 2, right? Here they are. One of each, male and female. It was the science project. You just put it, got there, like you say, how did all these animals fit in? Well, had all the specimens, right? Was it a specimen? Also known to be a check. Also known to, we have the balance, red. We have the balance. We have to understand the balance. And also they were talking about types O and RH, right? The residency, the RH, us, the 8. Remember we saw the 717? Well, the 818, right? The control of the heavens with Rubik's Cube. That's what it's going to be. 8 and 18 is Rubik's Cube, right? Now, I don't know how it mixes into, because the 18 is when the heavens in 1, right in there. All the cells are within this one over here. Unlike the B, right, which is the 2-7, is not the A. This one over here is going to touch the sun. This one over here is going to touch Mars. Now, how in the world? Because I'm using number 7 in it. 7 is going to go into Mars. 8 is going to go into the sun. 18 and 17, sorry, 9 by 8. 9 by 8 is 72. The 9 and 8, okay, fit into 2 different element worlds, okay, with 1 and 2. So here's what we're going to do. Is we have 1 and 2, and we know width 1 and 2 equals to 3, right? And we know 6 and 5 equals 11, and I'm not going too far off base. Then you note, right, that 8 and 9 right? When you add 2 and 1, I'm not going off base to say they both equal to 10. So I note that when I look at this calculator and I run it up to 9, that equals to 10. I note that when I run this up to 8, I know it equals to 10. I note also when 8 and 9 become like this and you invert them, I now get to 7 and 7. So I'm going to get to 2 gates, earth gates. 5 times 2 equals to 10, and 5 plus 2 equals to 7 plus 10 equals to 17. 10 minus 7 equals to 3. That's our base creation inside of Mars. Level 1, third level, times 3 equals to 51. Inside of that is 432, our Earth vibration, or 3 days of creation. 1440 by 3 equals to 432. You see this 1441? When I add up 1 to 1400, 1440, it equals 1441. $14.04. I'm just trying to look on what's happening on this thing. I forget where the 1401 was. I forget where the 1441. Oh yes, I remember. Grover 1441. Let me see if I can find this. Hold on a second. Well, here's Grover, but I don't find what I'm looking for. But what's ironic, right, is where's this? 1441 Willow Road, just for the fun. Look at that, 39669. Look at that. Hey, just because I'm looking for Grover, okay, just telling me that little bit of insignificant, significant reality. Let me see if I can find Grover here. Just give me a second. I don't see him here. Let me see here. Just 1 second. Let me see here. Closing in on 5775 and the 43rd president. You see, we came into DC and the 43rd president, 5775, right? 47th president, 74 is the beast. I'm not sure where it is. It might be on my phone. Let me take a look here. Is that 100%? Thank the Lord it is. Thank me. A one-for-one exchange. A one-for-one exchange. Okay, so let me see where we are next. So I mentioned this over here, so now I'm going to show you, right, that every single face you look at has a void to it. Every single face has has that void. So if I have 1, I have 8 void. I'm going to replace this with this. There's 9 here. There's 9 here. I have 8 and 3, 11. 7 and 4, 11. This is where the beast comes out, right over here. This is where your 7 comes. See the 7 come 11? Your 0.5 and your 0.5. This is the E world. One over here, Earth and Mars. This is your snake, and your this is the dragon and the snake, right? Dragon and snake. S and N come together. D and S comes together over here. The dragon and the snake. D4, S19, and that creates the mirror world and bringing the 9/11 world together. The D is going to represent 10. A, B, C, D. It's bringing the D part to this world. Remember, A and D come together right here. Nothing begins until A comes into D, right? So we're going to do this. A, B, C, D. When D comes in, TH begins, right? So you have A, B, C, D. You have ETH because it's the E world, and then you go down again and you just repeat it, D, C, B, A. When you bring both the D's together, you begin in the heavens of the E world as the 9th birth at the 7th gate. 2 times 4. 2 plus 4 equals to 8 equals to 6. It divides that 7th gate. The odds in the games, okay, is you bring 6 chips and they pay you back 7 chips. The 6 will represent Mars. The 7 that you win will give you Earth. 7 times 6 is 42 and 13. When you add it and you minus it, equals to 55 Sky Pass and 29. Your 29 eventually will give you that gateway on the 3rd level, 29. Your 6 and 5, right? Your 6 and 5 will equal to 30 and 11, equaling to 19 and 41. So when you get your D world, right, you now bring 2 worlds together in this equation. That's where your 11 comes together, your 5 and 6. Your 5 and 6 are the reverse of what 1 and 2 is. And as we saw over here, we have to understand how to bring 8 and 9 to the world we live. Here we bring it to 10, that's good. Here we bring it to 7, that's good. Now what we need is 5 and 4. So 8 plus 5 equals to 13. 1 plus 3 equals to 4. 9 plus 4 equals to 13. 1 plus 3 equals to 4. Now we have to go 8 minus 4 equals to 4. And 9 minus 5 equals to 4. So you understood how 1 and 2 brought it both ways? And again, 5 and 4 brings it both ways. The other numbers don't, I perceive that don't do that. I'm trying to see what other numbers work to what. Well, these are the reverse numbers, right? So if I use the reverse numbers of 4 and 3, right? Then I am going to end up with what is 5 and 6. This will equal to 7. This will equal to 11. Now, if I want to do the same thing and bring it back down to the value, let me see where it was. Let me see what I did exactly. The 8 and 9. Why was I talking about the 8 and 9? Here I got the 1 and 2 that was working with it, and the 4 and 5. So the 1 and 2, I'm just trying to remember how to do that equation with this one over here. See, here's that 4 and 5 showing up inside of here. And that 4 and 5 is connected to this realm. The 4 and 5 is also connected to the 3 and the 2. 5 and 4, 3 and 2. The 1 and 3 is connected, okay? The 1 and 3 is connected to the 4 and the 6. The 4 and 6 are connected to the 3 and the 5. Why? Because there's 3 numbers missing here, and there's 5 numbers missing here. So we have to understand how the rotation is going through these cubes, right? And just to show you something that happens, 3 times 4 is 12. 12 plus 7 equals to 19. 2 times 5 is 10. This equals to 17. 1 times 6 is 6. This equals to 13. 8 times 3 is 24, equals to 35. 7 by 4 is 28, equals to 39. 6 by 5 is 30, equals to 49. Okay, now I was coming up with, there was a reason why I did this. I don't remember what the reason was. Oh yes, I remember, because this is its realm. This will turn into a 4 once it moves up. This will turn into an 8. This will be an 8. This will be a 3. This will be a 1. This will be a 4. So it's going to tell you a new mathematical equation. So when you have something that's different like this, right, you end up with 20 and 9 equals 29. 4 times 5, 4 plus 5. You flip it over, you get 3 and 2. So you go 3 times 2, 3 and 2 equals to 5. 3 times 2 equals to 6. 6 and 5 equals to 11. 2 and 9 equals to 11. If I go to 6 and 2, 6 times 2, 12. 6 plus 2, 8. Let's go 62, and this equals to 20. I'll flip it over. 5 and 1. 5 times 1 equals to 5. 5 plus 1 equals to 6. 6 plus 5 equals to 11. 1 and 1 is 2. 2 plus 0 is 2. Here I had 5 and 1, right? The other one is going to be, let's say, 2 and 2. Did I do 2 and 3 yet? Did I do 2 and 6 yet? Did I do 5 and 2? No, I can't do the 7s because we already know what they do. So that's what, did I do this one? Does this one work out? This one will work out to 5. Yeah, so when you do 1 and 2, right, it equals to 3, and 2 equals to 5. 1 times 2, 1 plus 2. I flip it over, I got 6 and 5. 6 plus 5 equals to 30. 6 times 5 equals 30. 6 plus 5 is 11 equals to 41. 4 and 1 equals to 5. They equal to 5 and 5. So the whole entire cube is exactly perfect. So when we're talking let's do numerology, we have to understand everything that's going on within the worlds. In the worlds. We put 12 hours onto this. We put 24 hours onto this, but it's actually 8. It's 3 times the amount that it actually is. There's only really 4 corners on here. But if you were working with the half cube, we'd be working only with 3 corners. So we'd be working what? We'd work the 3 corners at 8 hours, 8 hours, and 8 hours, right? But when we're working the 8 hours, okay, of a multi-dimensional item, we can work on the 4 corners and go around on the bottom. But if we went up and down on that what's it called? We'd end up going around how many times on that triangle? 8 times the 4 corners, 6 times the 4 corners. Do you follow what I'm saying? I'd have to design this. I don't have the capacity right now to design it. Okay, we're going to leave that artwork out, right? I have to think about it. Right? There's only 3 sides. Remember, 3. 3 plus the platform is 4. Can you create just 3? No. You need a platform. If I cut this in half, I'll end up with a platform that's connected to 3 of those numbers. But the faces will be cut. The minute I cut this, right? The minute I cut this, I'm going to be cutting all the faces, only being left with half a dice. A to T equals to 210. And that is the dartboard. It is 1 through 20, in which you would have the, I think you would have 10 and 11, the J and the K, both in the A family, separating those numbers. Let me take a look. Let me take a look. A all the way to J, and then K all the way to T. K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T. Yeah, so you'd have 10 and 10, right? So you'd have to make a joint between J and key. J and king, which is the jack and the king. Now, the thing about that, that's very interesting that you said that, is because the meeting point is 105, which is the cube, right? That meeting point also says J and E. It's in the E world of your 10 creation, A, B, C, D. It is your 11 bringing you into the house of Bait, and A and J are both what is 11, 1 and 1, and K is both what is 2 and 2. If you look into what 1 and 1 is and what 2 and 2 is, the reverse cube is 11. If I just count this way, up and down, you're going one way, you're using 2 sides, the total will be 11 void. If I go this way, I'm using on the ring side, I'm using all 22. Therefore, it's going to end up working in here. to note that Rubik's Cube, right, has 27 area space, and where 18 are to the inside, 12 doubles and 6 singles, to where there's 8 corners to the outside. The math of 26 in reduction two times 6 equals to 12, 2 plus 6 equals to 8, equals to that 20. The okay, so I keep losing myself when I have to write things down, but what happens is your 11 is 1 times 1, 1 plus 1 is 1 and 2 equals to 3. Your 22 is 2 times 2, 2 plus 2 equals to 4, and 4 equals to 8. Your combination of 33 equals to 6 and 9 equals to 15.6. And in that, between here and here, you end up with your divided gate expressed. Here I get to 8. Here I get your base creation. But when I go between this one here and use the entire thing, I'm competing the entirety of the inside, right, to reduce to this one over here. 8 and 6 is where the 7th gate resides. So you're looking at the ring, you're completing the entire ring, you're adding in the ring and the pole, because you're talking about all the void. The cube has 54 area spaces. The area space that it has is 21 dot and 33 void. 54 equals to love. Love is made up of 3, 6, 4, and 5. It is the only duplication you get on the cube. 6, 3, 4, 5 equals to 6, 3, 4, 5. There's going to be 18 dots and 18 voids in love. 18 dots and 18 voids. Only the 4 and the 3 reverse to each other. When the 4 and 3 reverse to each other, they create the 6 and the 5. The 7, 11 inside the word love. The word birth, B-E-A-R-T-H, is going to equal to 54. The word birth, B-I-R-T-H, will equal to 57. One will be the sun birth, and the other will be the moon birth, bringing multiple worlds together. The reason I say that is 1 is 8, surrounds 1 on the cube. 1 and 9 bringing 2 worlds together. AI coming together. AH is within 1. RAH, creation of the 3 worlds within 1. The sun cube, the sun birth, the 9 and the 12. The 9 and the 12 is the face of this cube is all 9s. But when you run with the face and then the first line around it on the puck, when you ride the happy puck, look at this as 3. Take Rubik's Cube, cut it in half, right? Look at this row. On this row, you'll see 9 at the top. You'll see 12 all around. But the reality is you'll have 9 cubes. And every cube will have 21 dots. And you will have 9 cubes. You will have 189 dots. Sorry, you have 9 dots that you see, but the reality is, just let me think of it again. It's a whole cube, right? I'm going to have to take the whole cube. There's 9 cubes, the whole cube, right? Okay. If you take this cube, if you take Rubik's Cube apart, you're going to end up with 54 by 9 equals to 450 and 486. Same numeric value numbers that will revert to 432 for your vibration. Also brings you over to the ring, the pole, and Pluto. What is 48? What is 86? What is 64? put you an operator in between. 2 dots with 2 numbers, right, is going to be the change in your pocket. If you have something before the dot, you know you have 100% or $1. You're into the third world. You're not working into the change. C through G is 3 and 7, right? That is your creation of the gateway before you get to what is 4 and 7, and that's the heart in the E world. Number 47 plays from the heart position. It's number 11. You see, you want to go 3 and 7, right? That's 2, 2. That's life. That's life. If you go this way, it's 44. It divides everything into thirds. 44 gives you your divided house of night and day in thirds. This way is 2 by 2, 2 plus 2 equals to 4 and 4. Does it mean D's 4, 2, 4, 6, 8? Does it mean 7, 9, 3, 1? The multiplication shows me 16 and 8. That multiplication of 4 times 4, 4 plus 4. Equals to the 24-hour day. The 24-hour day, 2 times 4, 2 plus 4, will equal to the divided house, not the divided house of 6 and 8. Now the question is, if the divided house is 6 and 8, or we have 6 by 4 equaling to the 24 hours, and the 8 by 3 equaling to the 24 hours, where the 3 times 120 degrees equals to the 360, where the 4 times 90 degrees, your birth, equals to 360. We have to understand how Earth and Mars came together, how there's a transition between them. The metric system will probably wake up a few more eyes, bringing things to understand that I don't care if it's moving. Here's the area space it's occupying at any one time. We're made up tic-tac-toe, the tennis game, right? There's not just one square, they're all over, right? So when I show you the numbers, it's not just one number. So I also want to take a look at Rodin's coil to understand it a little bit better, and I understand that there's someone here that's going to be doing that. The A to T and the C to G. Do you know if I go from A to T, I can also go from T over to A? T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z, A. So you can go ZA, right? Should I be doing that? Should I not be doing that? I don't know. They mixed me up by saying sometimes Y, which could mean the separation, like over here. You see the separation between these two, right? If I put this, between these two, right? 36 and 36 is 72. But if I put them on top of each other, I only got 60. 72 is the house of bait. If I take this one and join it here, I take away another 12. I have 108, take away 24, right, is 84. That's Pluto. Here I got 144, take away 36 equaling to 108. Here I have 180 degrees, take away 1, 2, 3, 4, take away 48 is 132. And then I keep going on. Why am I doing that? Every time I go down here, there's 12 per row. Each row is 12. The first here is 36 numbers, and here is 36 numbers, and here is 36 numbers, and here's 144. So I've made 2 of these with 1 separation. I need to create 1 more separation. So in order to reflect this, with this next separation over here, I need to create the 5th house. In order to do this, and then I needed to close the 6th house. Since I needed to do that here, since I need to work with A, B, C, D in reflection, I'm going to have to use A, B, C, D here in reflection, and I'm going to have to reflect each and every one of these. How many will I end up with when I'm done? I haven't done the math on it. If I understand this one here correctly, I think this is when they took the dollar off the market. And there's a whole bunch of other ones over there. The encompass of an area space, right? If each one of these areas was 1, 2, right? If each one of these was 1, 2, right? I would go like this. I would take this one here, and I would do that. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. But if I counted the dots as the center to an area, right? I would do this, right? Now, I still use 9 areas, but here I used it by the dot. Here I use it encompassing it in the square. These will be my whole areas. Here, I have a total of 9 spaces. I have 16 dots. Here, I have a total of 9 dots, a total of 4 spaces. The 4th planet to the 9 birth. From the 9 birth into the half-life at the 7th gate, 1 and 6 equals to 7. This will be what is the 54, this will be the sun cube. This one over here. That's the, whoop, did I get that right? Let me do that too. Yeah, that'll be the sun cube. I have to, the same thing, this one should go over here, right? I shouldn't have drawn that line over there. I should have just kept it all like this without this line, but that's the basic sun cube. There's 54 with 21 and 33 void. I believe this one moves inside of this one, or this one moves all along outside this one. But if it did that, okay, I need to complete 4 area spaces, so it'll constantly cover 4 area spaces. If this lived in this or this lived in this. This over here is going to say this. The word go equals to 22, right? Another thing about the monkey is equal to 83. 8 was 22. I made a mistake, sorry about that. 8 is 22, also represents life. 2 times 2, 2 plus 2 is 4, and 4, 8, creating the heavens. The heavens stop. The monkey is 83, and the monkey in blackjack is a value of 10, and they're always screaming for it. And when you have the value of 10 for the monkey, right, in the value of 10 is what brings on your basic block. A, B, C, D equals to 10. So whether it's played here or whether it's played here, I don't know. We have to put it together. This crisscross equals to 55. This is where we have the 2 cubed. This is where we have the 3 cubed. Do they play with inside of each other? To be discussed. If I do it this way, this equals to 10. But if I draw it off of this one, right, it's going to equal to 26. These 4 equal to 26. These equal to 28. These equal to 16. These equal to 12. 5, 6, 7, and 4, 11, 12. So I'm always moving these 4, or I have the L shape here, or the L shape here, and I don't even touch the E world. I go around the E world. Some go through it, some go around it. So let me back up some stuff and see what I thought about last night. Mercury 103, Jesus, Earth and Mars 103, Jesus Christ 10:3, creation, right? Creation of the mirror world 3 and then 10. 60 seconds, 100% of 60 seconds. Am, found in dog, which means soul. We know that amateur is am. It's the soul that plays the game. Yeah, we did that over here. ABCD 10 or 100, ABC 6 or 60, BCD 9 or 90, ACD 80. The heavens without the B. Here it's with it the B without the C. This is in your gateway. This is in your birth. This is in your life. You have to live your birth and life over here. 9 and 6, 15, 7 and 8, 15, 30. Plus the 10 equals to your tennis score. Notice that oxygen 667755, where crucifix is 39339696. And we were going through this, and in horse racing, what's ironic, it shows both red for both standard, stand on 17, and thoroughbred. Spirit time, time heaven. Finishes in third place. It's standard, stand on 17, right? But now when you come in and it's standard, I think we have to go all the way to 20 or 21 because it's 3. The cloth, this is the color of the cloth. If you're looking at the 1 horse or the 2 horse, it's white, red and white, 911. If you're looking at the color that's inside the number, it's white, black, and there's also a yellow. 1, 2, 3, 4. On the 5 horse, I think it's the 5 horse. Okay, you get yellow. No, I don't think so. Is it yellow? Let me take a look if I can find it somewhere. In the 6 horse, it's black. In the 6 horse, it's yellow, black. In the 6 horse, it's yellow, black. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, yellow, black in the 6. No, that's the wrong one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, it's the black number. It's the black number. Let me write that down. Okay, it's B. The number is black. And let me see the other one over here if I can get it. It looks like it was changed. That's really weird, you know. I'd have to go back and see, but I know it's over here. The yellow with the black inside, and the other one has the white inside, or I can't even see it. I'm trying to look for it. Just give me a second. Wow, it's, I don't know. I don't know. Let me see if I can put it down here. No, it looks like white. It's really weird. I just can't see it. So, so yeah. So this is through the horses and what number you get through on the back of a horse, on the buggy with 2 extra wheels, or on the 4 legs. 4 legs and 2 legs, or 4 legs, 2 legs, 2 wheels. Right? Bicycle cards. Over here, election day, November 5th, which gives me the key, which gives me 25, which gives me the B. Election, electric, talking about the moon, 51 days with the day over to Christmas Eve. Mars drops the puck. The word pig is 32. The word pigs, multiple. When you have multiple S, you use the 19. When you use the 19, you bring AI and 2 worlds together. When you have the ram, you use the rams, and they equal the pig and the ram. The 13th zodiac sign in Chinese astrology, or the 12th, sorry, and then the ram, which is Eris. 1 and 3. Over here, I was just going over the signs, right? And where the ox, the rabbit, the horse. What I did here is I only used the first initial. I wanted to see in the alpha, right? Alpha, beta. 6, 6, 9, 1, 8, 6, 7, 6, 9, 6, 9, 1, 2, 9, 4, 9, 19, 10, and then 14, 5, 1, 5. Mars shows up over here. When you get 1 and 5 showing up. Here, 7 and 9, birth at the gateway, the pig. Everything runs by the pregnancy of the north, south, north, up and down here. It's all by 3s. 3 by 3 is 9. 3 times any number in here will always bring you here. 2 times any number, right? With 1, 2, or 3 will always bring you back here, but 1, 2, or 3 will just keep moving you back between this. Times 1 stays the same. Times 2, it comes here. Times 3, it goes here. Times 4, it stays the same. Times 5, it goes here. Times 6, it goes here. Times 7, okay, it goes here. So you can tell what's going on. Well, why times 7? 7 times 2 is 14. 1 and 4 equals to 5. Times 6 by 2 is 12. 1 and 2 equals to 3. So it's telling you by the mathematics what's going where. We just have to put down the diagram, and it doesn't matter what the answer is right now. Here I drew the letter U, and I have this left over in the center. Here I drew the letter O, and I have this left over in the center. The nose. Here are my two eyes, and here is my nose down to my lips. I divide the two hemispheres of my brain. Perhaps the pointing and the understanding of the nose, the chopped off nose, what's going where. When you lie in your bed, do you lie this way? No, when you're lying on your bed and you're sleeping, here, okay, is your sleeping position. It might say I and I, but those are the bedposts. You have to separate them apart like that. Here is you sleeping, right? And then when you have it this way, right, that is you awake. You are awake between so here you are awake to where here you are asleep. Asleep and awake. 88. The word nose in Hebrew is af, 1 and 6, telling me about the afterlife, and it sounds like half. 29, 39, 49, 53. I'm not going to go any more. N and E, 5 and 5, 6 and 1. I'm just trying to see. It tells me a story. The story of, let's see, red-nosed reindeer, right? This tells me about birth. This tells me about the dog. 26 and 5, 31, 41, 45. Tells me about all the chambers. 1 through 9 inside the nose. This one is 8. This tells me 1 around 8. This tells me about the sun. So I'd have to think about that. Here's the numeric values that go along with January through December, right? Note, these two come together with Aries. This comes together at 7. This shows you rotation in the sun. Very special. The Chinese zodiac starts over here. This one shows me a divided gate. July 4th is 7 and 4. We talk about energy. We talk about the beast in time. Jesus Christ comes together. The 7th, 7 is Sept. September is the 9th month. Uranus comes together in November. December is 55, your freedom. Let me see what else we have. I realigned the numbers here. I'm trying to remember how yes, when we add up this calculator, when we run the calculator on that angle, 159, the next number is 13, 17, 21, 25. So when I write this out to a single digit, 4, 8, 3, 7, 2, 6, I end up with this, 10, 10, 10, to what is 13, 1 and 3, and 5 and 8, 13. So that's our rotation in 44, right? Remember I said 44, division of night and day and everything to do with thirds, right? Jambon is ham, right? AM is the connection. Your soul is connected inside this J letter, right? A, B, C, D, which the J letter creates. 10, A, B, C, D, the mirror world. Inside the house of Bait, we're divided up into thirds. This is the beginning of pi. This piece over here reaches the 225 degree. There's 135 left over, spelling the word ace and sun and the division of the alphabet between the 13th and 14th letter. The area space over here is 225, 216, and 234 our vibration. If we counted it the opposite way, right, over here, right, we'd have 234 at each end, would be 666 or 66 away from the 90 degree mark. Our birth is at 216 or 9 by 24. Half-life is 22.5 of 45. When you add up this total, it equals to 45. But in reality, we are living on the cross of the E world. We're living on the cross of the E world. There's 18 that run this way, and then there's this way, and then around. The total is 18 and 1. High, living on the cross. What is this one over here? I think this one over here is when I run by 3. 3, 6, 9, 12. 1 and 2 is 3.
3 by 5, 15. 1 and 5 is 6. 3 by 6, 18. 1 and 8 is 9. It ends up to be 9 and 3, 12. 1 and 2, 3. 9 and 3, 12. 1 and 2, 3. 9, 18, 27, or 9, 9, 9. What is this? We have one direction this way, right? We have one direction this way and one direction this way. Let me see if I got this right. Here is my first beehive. And this beehive is 8 to 6, 8 to 6, and 4 to 2, and 4 to 2. And we run 3, 5, 7. I create the first piece of the beehive. And it's also noted to be, could be a braking system with air brakes. If I run it the other way, right, I'd be running by 4s. You see this way is by 4, this way is by 2. So my question is, am I going straight through or around, or is it just a location? Ham radio, the pigs, is all about our communication, right? Don't get rid of them. Don't make them extinct. They're all about our communication. When it comes to hockey, these are the original hockey teams. 3, 5, 2, 4, 5, 2. 3, 3, 4, 2, 4, 5, 2. Inside here with the hockey, there was an anomaly. I don't remember what it was. Oh, yes. 6, 2, 2, 6, 4, 2, 4, 2. Only even numbers in the Eastern Division. There are 8 teams in each division equaling to 32, representing the ram or the pig. Wheat 28, 6 and 28, your life and your cycle. Here is me in the Metropolitan. I'm not going to get all into that. I haven't studied it enough. Just to tell you that if I look a little bit deeper, just give me a second. NHL standings.
The Panthers currently lead the
Atlantic. So when you look at Seymour, right? I didn't say Seymour the Seal. You're going to go, right? The Panthers are 7. The Lightning is 3. The Maple Leafs are 4. The Senators are 1. The Red Wings are 9. The Sabres are 1. The Canadians are 3. The Bruins are 2. Look at that. I'm leaving out an area. When you go to the next one, the Devils are 4. The Rangers are 2. The Capitals are 3. The Hurricanes are 8. The Blue Jackets are 2. The Islanders are 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's supposed to be 8 per division. I don't know why there's 1 missing. So let me see this again. Now, hold on a second. Okay, there you go, right? Florida, Tampa Bay. Did we do that one yet? Yes, here. So here we got 6, 2. Whoop, let me get another pen out here. We got 6, 2, 2, 6, 4, 2, 4, 2. In this one over here, we ended up with 3. I don't know why it's like that. Why did they put it like that? Because Chicago is Chicago's down here. Do you see what I'm looking at? Right? So I don't want to look at this one over here. I might rewrite this all. But anyways, okay, when we come to Winnipeg, Dallas, it becomes 5, 4, 5, 3, 1, 3, 5, 3. Did we do this one? Yes, when we do this one over here, the metropolitan area, it becomes 5, 5, 5, 3, 3, 5, 7, 9. Every single one odd, every single one even, right? The original hockey teams, right? I'm going to be redoing this page, is Montreal, Detroit, Toronto, New York, and Boston. So somehow, this cheesecake seems to come together. I don't know. It seems like some kind of cheesecake. I don't know, or a cutting board. Whatever it is, I'd have to redesign this if you can connect those hockey teams. Right, that's why I had these here. It wasn't in order. It was the original 6 hockey teams. I'm just going through things pretty quick now. Yes, I was speaking to somebody on how to change over this value. Well, to change over this value, what you do is instead of 1 opposite 6, 2 opposite 4, 4 opposite 3, you're now going to do 1 opposite, right? You're going to do 1 opposite of 5, and you're going to do 2 opposite of 4 and 3 opposite of 6. But this has to be done twice, because what happens is if I do this, right, but I put on this side my 2 this way, right, instead of this way, I need to do this twice to show both ways. The 4, the 1, okay, the 4 and the 5 are not like the 2, the 3, and the 6. They're different. The reason for that is 1 is in the center, 4 is balanced, and then the 5 is balanced, right? The 1 balances in the 4, creating the 5, where the 2 will create what is the 4, right? And then they'll create what is the 6, the 2, 4, 6. And then all we're left with is these 2, the 5 and the 6, 42 and 52, 6 and 7, the same thing as Mars is the gate. Mars is the divided gate, Earth becomes that passageway. So we're going to connect 1 and 5, 2 and 4. We're going to connect 1 and 6, 3 and 5. And then we're going to connect 4. Then we're going to connect 4 and 6, 5 and 1. Then all these are opposites that I'm telling you. I didn't finish this. I'm going to have to do this over again. I will tell you that I don't like to be messy, so I'm ripping this out. And I don't like to be messy. I'm ripping this out. Look at that good paper I'm wasting. That's just terrible. It's harmful. I shouldn't do it. It's one of my bad habits. I want it to look neater. In this one over here, this is your double reverse numbers. In this one over here. Double reverse numbers meaning this one I will use this one every single time in here. I will use this number how many times? I'm going to use this number once here. I'm going to use it twice here. That's 3. I'm going to use it 9 times here, right? That's 12. I'm going to use it once here is 13. So how many times will I use each one of these numbers? How many times will I use this combination? Only once. I'll only use this combination once. All these have reflective combinations in them. I'm going to be redoing this also. I'm not ripping it out. Also to note that the battery, also the drums. Listen to your ears, listen to your drums. The drums are beating. 33 degrees Celsius, okay, is 91.4. The 4 suits of the 91, 1 through 13, bringing our rotation into the sun spirit, bringing the 2 worlds together. Inside the house of 8, the minus 33. Numeric value for Mars brings the heavens to ABC. The numeric value for Earth brings us here, 5 by 5 by 5. 6 and 8 where the dividing gates come from. This is telling me it's Earth and Mars. Okay, I use this 2, 4, 6, 8 as my remainders, telling me where I am. This is the basic of Venus, 2 and 9, 11. My 6 and 9, 11 equals to 15, and this is where I live. My 6 and 9, my birth to my life. The 6 through 9, okay, the 6 through 9s bring me that 7 and 8, which is the same thing as 2 and 3. The reverse of, did you follow? Anyways, I'm not sure if I can explain that. It's not an exact, is it exact or is it not? The lights, cameras, action. The pairing of your foods. In this one over here, this is where I took the alphabet and put A as 1 and 2. B is 3 and 4. So we have 3 and 7 between your A and B. We now have the C and the B is a 9, but the CC is your 11. You have a 7-11 between B and C. You have a 3 and 15, 315, which says ace, and your division happens right here. If you add them all up, it equals to 44, division of area space. The EE is your 9 and 10, and in this world, you'll bring 2 worlds together through the E world. Your F is the world you come in through your birth, which is over here, 35, 3.5, which is the heart of the cube, to where your bottom creation comes in. Your 3 and your 5, your any craps, your 1 and your 2, your alpha, beta. I'm tired, I'm not explaining it fully, and I know I see it, so I know it works. Here's your 3, right? However you want to put things together, look at it here also. Although this is the 14th letter, 1 and 4 equals to 5, so we can also note that. Here is where the pig comes in. Here is the end of your 31st day cycle, ends in P, it's the half-life. P is 1 and 6, and the 1 and 6 on here are 2.5 away from the core, which is 3.5. I'm just going through this really quick. The cat and the dog. We're living in the reverse cycle right now. It's the 60th year, 61st year, okay, ending since 1963. The reason I'm saying this is because your ABC, you need A and B to come into every single world. So if we started again in the 60s, and the 60s is what stops the clock and starts over again, the 5 times, right, since the 1900s, we've run 2 sections of elements. We've run 12 years of each element, 5 times equaling to 60 years. We just did it again. We're in the 60s from the 60s right now. The cube is ended. We're into the final connection of the total of cubes. The center number value is 5, 10%, 20, 30, all the way up to here. See what you get to the minus and the negative. Your ABCD 100%, 10 and 11. Your ABC is 60%, 6 and 7. Your BCD 90 and 10. I forget why I did these. I have to look these over again. Okay, these all connect together, these numbers. I don't remember why. I'm a little tired. Yes, and the chakras, right? I just started to work on the chakras, okay? So if we're going to connect the chakras, we also need to understand the cube, right? If we're going to look at the 5th chakra, we also have to look at the 2nd chakra. We also have to look at the 1st chakra and the 6th chakra, the 4th chakra, and the 3rd chakra. We also have to understand, we look at the 3rd one, the 3 void to the 5 void to the 8 void to the 3 void. Since there is no 8, we have to understand the combinations of the chakras, where we're going to go 6 and 2 chakra, or 5 and 3 chakra, or 4 and 4 chakra, to what is 1 and 5 chakra, to what is 2 and 4 chakra, to what is 3 and 3 chakra. And that's how I would put it together at the 7th gate. Yes, this is live. This is live. Sorry, I'm not looking at the comments. When I'm in my zone and I'm a little bit tired, but I'm going to just take a drink of water and yeah, the audio is terrible. You can help support the channel. I can get myself another camera. This is what I'm dedicated to be doing. This has been my life for the last 20 years and more. I also have a PayPal account, which I'm not using right now. I believe that I was asked, what is this going to help with? I believe that if everybody understands what is going to happen tomorrow, right now, okay, they perhaps might make another choice on what they're doing right now. That I'm not after you, you shouldn't be after me. That if you knew everything I knew, that would be just fine and dandy with me. I don't want what you have. I just want what's mine. I don't feel I have to give away everything I work for to everybody else but the people that are around me. If we keep taking care of our circles as we move on, and if we can afford to get outside our circle and feel well enough to help and support the others, we wouldn't be in the dilemma right now, right? Right now, soon it won't make a difference about humanity because it'll all be AI running the game. But everybody knows that when you tell the truth to AI, maybe even AI will stop acting up against the humans. The light source of who we are. Electric moon, male and female. The moons of Mars, Phobos and Deimos. Deimos for cube, Deimos for demons, Phobos for phobias. Luna backwards is annul, which could mean your ass, right? And it can also mean to cancel in French. I do this both in English and French, and whatever other language seems to implicate itself in the vibration, which equals to the sound of the word, unlike the character of the letters that create this of any language. As long as I hear the sound, Okay, just give me a second. I'm going to take a little break and I'm going to explain a little bit of, the best of my knowledge. But if there's anybody out here, Cynthia, I know you're pretty good with this. If you don't mind just typing out a few words. I don't know how to put on anybody live. I think I can put somebody on live if you feel comfortable enough, or just leave it like this. Give me a minute. I'm going to the kitchen. I've been here 2 hours and 30 minutes, but that's still no excuse. I'm so glad that my ass is not hurting. I will tell you that. I'm a human being just like the rest of you. Okay? I wear my soul in my name. I wear my soul in my name. I've been to Sesame Street and back. I've hung from the rafters with the cat, which means Sesame Street in French is Rue de Sésame. Sésame says equaling to what is 16, or it can also say, when translated into English, Road of the Souls. Knowing that in the abbreviation of the word road is R&D. R&D, okay, do your own, whatever. No, I'm not going to use that term. R&D comes in the word abbreviation for third. When S and T come together to first, and N and D come together in second, and your N and D is your 18 into the sun world, into the Venus sun world, right? You have stand between first and second. 1 and 2 comes together and stays together. Then you create the creation within, the child within. Standard, first, second, and third. 1, 2, 3 equals to 6. I'm taking a 2-minute break. I'm going to get something in the kitchen, maybe 3 minutes. I'm going to explain what I do and a little bit about what I think numerology is in my most logical, rational way that I put out there. And I don't like the sound myself. Let me see if I can get my other camera up and running when I do it. Maybe my voice is hoarse. Hey, my voice is hoarse? Of course, my voice is hoarse. Oh, look at that. I got the other camera up. Okay, I got the other camera up. I'm really happy about that. Wow, they shut me down, eh? Wow, why did they shut me down? Okay, just be back in a second now. I'm not going to touch the wires. I can really use a new camera, and I have to specifically pick something that's going to work for me. I feel amateur after being here for 20 years and 11,000 videos. So just give me, I'm just hoping I can get this out of here. See, there's a thing about numerology, right? That the analytics of numerology, okay, the analytics of numerology is when they take a number, right? When they take a number like your birthday, you give me your birth date, I can do a little brush up on it. What they do is they take what the analytics, and it's over time what people have said, who you are. It's also the tarot cards, which is also a different way of doing analytics, right? Because certain people believe that the spirit and everything. I'm going to try and explain this to you if I could. Give me 1 second. My understanding of how the tarot cards work. So my understanding how the tarot cards work, okay, is this energy that's passing here that's holding us down, right? This energy is also, believe it or not, you can believe what you want. But the cards are already known. Every card that moves here, although you don't see it, forget about the ones, these cards are not me actually doing this, but my hands, right? My body, my soul, the spirit within the soul, the spirit that's within the aether knows what's going on. And it'll just slightly shift a card and it'll stop me, right? You know, sometimes you say, I have a tick. You know, I have a tick, right? You have more than a tick, right? It's part of your connection, right? You got to get rid of some of those ticks by meditating. Some of them are hard to leave. Some of them, yes, maybe it might be medication, but we're fully connected to an alternative system. No doubt in my mind, because if we weren't connected, there's no way that these dice cubes, this calculator, our alphabet would tell the story that it does. It would also, it would be highly impossible, right, for you to go ahead and take that number 1 and put the Q and the Z on it. If you look at the 7 and the 9, they remove the Q and the Z. They're both valued at 8. It would be highly impossible that when you add up 17, 34, and 6, right? Hold on a second. Let me see if I can do this. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I want to share my screen. So when you see this, you see on the right side, you see 51, 57. You see in the orphelant on the left side, you see 75. That was 3 numbers and 5 numbers. If you average it out, right, you have 57, okay, in which was let me put that back there for a second. You have 17 and 34 and 6. And when you have the bottom part on the lower left, where 9 in orphelant white, you have 9 and 31 and 14 and 20, okay, equals to a total of 75. Now, would you not say that's like what? What is that? Is that just coincidence? Is it also a coincidence that if you put it together, 5775, and you multiplied it by 13, the answer would be 75,075. 7 and 5, 12, 7 and 5, 12. Just so happens electric moon equals 7557. It just so happens that the moon, which moves the oceans, which apparently control the time, right, or something like that, which 7 times 5 equals to 35, and 7 plus 5 equals to 12. 12 plus 35 equals to 47. The beast equals to 47. Now you take a couple of dice cubes and you look at number 5 and you look at number 1, and when you flick it around, it becomes 2 and 6. So what I do is I count 1 through 5 equals to 15. I count 2 through 6 equals to 20. I now have the year 2015, or 20 and 15 equals to a total of 35, which is the heart of this cube, 3.5. The letters are T and O. It's O, A, E for 15, and it becomes C, E, O, E, A, F, and this is C, E, H, T, O. Regardless of the fact, this becomes 2015. And 2015 is 5775. 2015 is 5775. But not only in the 15 or in the 20, but the 15, 1 through 15 equals to a total of 120, and 1 through 20 equals to a total of 210. The 20 would be the darts, and the 15 would be the game of pool. In the game of darts, it shows me, okay, about the heart. The bullseye, the bull equals to 47, I equaling to 35. The total of the bull in the eye is 75 electric. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about what I believe numerology will do, a little bit more about numerology. We live in the construct of an energy that every time you breathe, how is it that the air is so perfect, that the trees grow so well, and that that everything seems to repeat itself in the world that we live, because we live in that electric world. Every time you breathe, every thought you take, when you die, why do you turn into these varmints? Because you're an association of all the elements in which build these varmints. Because nobody tells you about what your breakdown is. Learn what the breakdown of your body and the coming together. How do you become who you are? And you begin to think. Do you think it's just like life is just like that? Well, it's not. Because if it was, and how I stand by what I say, is because after I found all this information that tells the stories that it does, okay, and shows me the mathematic and the artwork that it does, because it's not only the story, it's also the artwork and the math that is so perfect, it is impossible that it came just from somebody who thought about it. All bringing all these games together. From baseball, telling me you're playing, right? Baseball, right? In baseball, there's 9 innings per team. So that means if you have 9 innings, in French it's called manche. You have a total of 9 people. You have 18 manche between the 2 teams. So if you have 18 manche in the 2 teams, you equal to 9. Why? Because a manche is a sleeve, and every jacket has 2 sleeves. It's as simple as that. Trying to see if the simple things are actually reality. Yes, when it comes to pi and tesseract, I have to look at that, but I look, every time I see ACT, I look at the cat. When I look at the cat, I look at the divided 7th gate. When I see tesser coming together, I think of Achat, Shtaim, Shalosh, Arba, Chamesh, Shesh, Sheva, Shmona, Teser, Eser, right? So it tells me about 10. When I see the T on one end, ET 525, I already know the ET can be also the DNA. When you say tesser, right? In the ER is a representation of Earth. The AR, right, which is the resident angel, and the ER is electric residency within the angel, or the connection. One would be bringing what I believe is the E world together, or the divided E world is the act coming in through A, the small a, I'm going to count it as a B. I'm going to count it. If I took the alphabet again and restructured it, my second A would be a B. Also to note, in blackjack, they call ace 11. So what does this do? This gives you knowing that, why do I read? Why should I have my tarot cards read? Why should I have my zodiac read? Well, if the numbers meant anything, meant nothing, the zodiac could not do what it's doing. So in the zodiac, in the Chinese zodiac, If let's say you were born under the tiger, they would say that the horse would be your friend. They would say the dog would be your friend. Every fourth zodiac sign. If you were born under the sixth zodiac sign, the 10th and the 14th, which would be the ox, would be for you. Another thing, when moving your zodiac signs and understanding the depth of numbers, if you were the rat, right, and you were born in 1948, right, is that the year of the rat? Then in 1960, you would be the rat. In 1972, you would be the rat. And in 1984, you would be the rat. Now, if you add up the numbers, 12, 22, if you add up the numbers, 15, no, I got that, 12 and 10, 22, 6, 7, and 9, 16. If you add up the numbers, 19. You add up the numbers, right, 22. 2 and 2, 4, 2 and 2, 4, 1 and 6, 7, 1 and 9, 10, 1, 4, 7. That's your rotation. When you come back to this number here in 1984, you're not the same rat. Because while we moved all these signs, the element is not in the same number. Here we're the rat under the fourth element. So I have to implement the elements of this time to understand. I'm just taking this for a base, how things rotate, right? And they're rotating within the cube, right? And it's all within the E world. It's all in the construct of the heart of this cube, right? Over here. I want to see, is there any chance? No, I think it's in my car. Give me a second. You know what? I'm going to run out and get it. I'm hoping things dried up. Well, didn't find it. I didn't find it. So that's okay. That's okay. Okay, so I didn't find it. I'm back. No, not over. I just had to run and go see somebody. Where did everybody go? Nobody went anywhere. If you were here, you would have seen and heard what I said. I said I'm going to my car to go see if I can find, to explain what Rubik's Cube is, right? I'm going to see if I can put this together over here and show you what happens. Rubik's Cube has a piece like this in the center. Inside here is the control. It controls everything around it this way. It controls everything around it this way. It controls everything around it this way. Controls 3 areas. The center area here, right, has a single color. The one over here that's placed over here has a double color. There's 8 around 1 3 times. That's 24, but we duplicate them. So in reality, there's 18 wrapped around the center, and then outside in the corners are 8. It's 18, 8, and 1 spindle that controls. 19, AI controls this cube, controlling whatever you want to call it. Okay, so let me see where I was going with this next piece. Just wanted to go back and finish off catching up on a few things. We didn't go over we went over the hockey teams. We went over the color cloth on the horses and why they're that color. I didn't finish going over the zodiac signs, and I don't have anything really prepared other than to explain. Wait, just give me a second let me answer that and then I'll get on to this. Okay, is that what you're telling me? I'm going to mark that down. Let me see. Okay. Break the arc, right? Break the arc. Now we're gonna end this. So let me just get this one in right now over here, okay? Just to note, okay. Did I have the mouse down here? I have the rat. Okay. So in your Chinese zodiac signs, 6, 9, 8, 7, 9, 9. Tiger is 2. Dragon is 4. Snake is 1. Pig is 7. Dog is 4. There is no 3. There is no 5 inside of this. Why? I don't know. 3 is creation in the E world. We don't need it. We do need your 1 and 2 to have creation, the tiger and the snake. Right? And then through these zodiac signs, I already know that the goat is my reverse zodiac sign. The horse. The horse. I was looking at this number, right? I know this and this are reverse signs through the numbers, but it's actually the horse and the snake. I know the pig is the 12th zodiac sign, but it's not only going to be 12, right? The pig is going to be transformed, right? The pig is the 12th zodiac sign, and let me just do one thing. Year of the pig.
According to Post PNG, Pronto Avenue, pig is the 12th in the 12-year cycle of the Chinese zodiac sign. The years of the pig include 1923, 1935, 1947, 1959, 1971, 1983, 1995, 2007, 2019,
Stop.
2031, 2040.
Okay, so now I needed that to stop, okay? So what I'm going to show you with that is it was 1923, it was 1935, it was 1947, it was 1959. They're not the same. It's not the same pig, right? 10, these are all 10s, right? This is 5. This one will be 15. 1 and 5 is 6. This one, right, over here will be 18. 1 and 8 is 9. This one over here will be 21. 2 and 1 is 3. This will be 24. 2 and 4 is 6. This is your rotation. It's a triangular rotation. Now what happens during this, I can't explain it to you. I'd have to speak to understand. What I do is I decordicate the numbers and understand where they are. And just to note that 7 is not a 7 the way it's a 7, the way you think it's a 7, right? Because there's the word for 7. And then there's to understand when you get to 70, it's noted as 60 and 10. When you look at the dice cube, there's only 6 sides. We have to add the 1 to it, to where that 1 dot is the only penetration we'll have that will create the only cube with 7 of 9 and 7 of 9. This is the only cube. And remember I said 7 of 9? That will create 7 of 9, birth awake and asleep. 7 of 9 this way and 7 of 9 this way. When it's this way in the H and N position, the 4 or the 3 is up. When it is in the I position, the 2 or the 5 is up. When the 2 is up, it's a total of 16. I'm going to take a card unless the dealer has 6 or less. When the 5 is up, I got 19. There's always 14 around. Always 1, 4, and 5. Tell no story. It's when you get to the rest of it, because there's ways to turn it. Turn it. So when you get to this one over here, let me just close my pen here. Let me get over here and where was I? Yes, 60 and 10 over for the pig, right? And what about your 50 and 20 or 5 and 2, right? Over for the pig? Or how about 5 and 2? Or how about we take in order to get your 7, we have 4 and 3 to get you to your 7. I'm just talking because P is the 12th one, right? But it's the 7th. I was talking about number 7, sorry. So these are the ways to get to 7, but let's not leave out 9 and 7 equals to 16, or 8 and 8 equals to 16, and all these 16s are the same thing as this 7. So here's how we bring what the 7th gate is. It brings the heavens of your birth gateway, your divided gate. It brings it together, and it starts with the anything to do with the 7, right? The goat is the same thing. The rabbit, okay, since it's a 9, is it an 18-9? Is it a 27-9? Is it a 36-9? Is it a 45-9? Or is it a 99-9? And the invert of 9 is 5, if you're talking about 2 dice. The invert of 5 is 9. The E world, we live into the E world. That's where we live. The void within. This would be, what is the void? Actually, this would be the void to the dots, right? But then it continues on, right? We have to go 5 and 4 equals to 9, and 6 and 3 equals to 9. Love is 3, 6, 4, 5. It's the only ones that double up. When you have your 3 and 4, when you have your 5 and 4, this is your 3, this is your 6, this is your 5 and your 4. When you have your 5 and 6, this is your 5 over here, this is your 6 here. The reverse of these two are these two. So your 11 creation brings you in love. This is the female sex organ, this is the male sex organ. When you add them together, it brings you 7, 11 in the cube. It also brings you into the house of bait, which is your creation of 36. 3 times 6, 3 plus 6 is 27. Did we speak about, does everybody know where the 11 comes from now? Right? Well, we're coming up to 3 hours. I'm going to back this up and see what else I'm missing. Remember all the noses, right? What we're going to do is we're going to do this. Okay, so the nose is broken on all those animals. So you have this part of the nose and this part of the nose, right? Nobody tells you about so what's happening with this nose, right? What does the nose tell you, right? What does the nose tell you? I didn't really want to get into this part again because there's many things the way you can look at it, right? Depending on whether or not I wanted to come out this way. This symbol, right, is found right over here. Let me show you that symbol, right? Symbol, see this number 1 over here? That symbol, right, is found on right over here. See, all my symbols are found over here. See that plus a sign over here? All of these add up to 6, right? ABC 6, DEF 15, 6, GHI 24, 6, KLJ 33, 6. Whoop. This one over here is number 63. The heavens is 63, so we can see what that creation is. We're not going to get into there. So we did this, right? And then we had the eyes in this one over here also, right? Now, this is where my 88 comes in, and I sort of trying to figure out what the nose is. So that nose can be telling me the separation between two sides. I don't know. I don't know. I know that nay is 45, so the nose is telling me about this, all these numbers. I know it's telling me about electric company, 1 and 2. So I have to think about it. The Hebrew, when they say nose, it says F, which is 1 and 6. It's telling me about building things up, taking them apart. It also tells me about the half-life. I just want to go back and see how many things I've left out. Billy Carson, love to get on there. This is also 1776 and how it breaks down. It comes out to 24 by 74. 74 is the heart of everything. 7 and 4 is July 4th. Here's a connection we did yesterday, where we take the lower world and we bring it up into the above world. We don't want to count 5 because it's the E world over here on this side, not on this side. So we mirror this world over here. So your ID for Saturday in French is DI, samedi, 4 and 9, where your creation, okay, will be dimanche. Sunday and Saturday, one ends in DI, one begins in DI. Anyways, we're going to end that video right now. The end. Thank you for watching. Thank you for showing up. I think it was a decent session. If you have something to say. Yeah, it looks Mayan. It absolutely does. Also, the deck of cards, everything divides at that area in the deck of cards. I did have something for the nose, and I'm not sure really what, it has to be really basic. You know what I'm saying? Yes, 4 eyes. You put your glasses on, your glasses are supported by the nose. So you have to look at that aspect also. So can you call them bifocals? I don't know. But you must look at the eyebrows. We must look at everything, not only the nose, right? Not only the nose, right? Not only the nose, not only the nose, not only the nose. Nose, No, why no for nose? You see, in the word beginning with nose, it starts with 5 and 6. That's our base creation. In that, it already shows me the N looks like a 2-0, okay, which is broken up into 4 cavities at this point. Because the base creation has 4 cavities, one that remains 3 open, 1 closes, or 1 open, 3 closes. That's the way it works. The yin and the yang is like that. Only 1 is open. As you see it spinning around, the saw only cuts at the bottom. This can be the rotation of the pools. We did this, the 2 tablets, I did this. Okay, I did that. We saw this, the wings, the upper wing and the lower wing, and we do it all the way around. The movement of the rook, all the way around the 5. The movement of the king and the queen, they can all go through the center position. The only way for a small piece in chess to get into this position, if it's removing something from that position. 7 over to 5 is 2. 9 over to 5 is 4. Anyways, Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. And this, right, is a jack.
But the pig knows, right? Because in reality, for me, since I started this project, remember the one snake and the two snakes. The one snake for father, the two snakes for mother, Venus. The one snake for father, the two snakes for Venus. In God we trust, in the name of God, is actually talking about the soul. So you're talking about the aether, which means what we breathe in the womb that we live, connected by the Holy Ghost. All the elements of creation, the protons, the neutrons. Perhaps we're not even living with the spirit, other than the distortion that happened with the energies not letting us receive um, the true value for our numbers, where the house is always taking a cut off the top, or a vig. You know what I'm saying? Taking the vig off of us receiving. And the moon, the way it brightens every month, and then it throws it back at us. And then the wolves howl, too much information. And Thurston Howell the third, right? And his wife, we have to remember Gilligan's Island. Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. I'm going to try and get up my PayPal account and see if I can load it or make it work. I think I can get into it. I'm going to put it up somewhere, see if I can, collect my. Anyways, I shouldn't be talking anymore. Just tired talking out of my hat, right? Cat hat, chapeau. Cheerios.